time. All right, man, it's Comic-Con time. It's that time of the year. The shit ain't been here for a long time, but it's back and we back too. So, I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my adorable co-host, Miss Tifflebot. What's going on with your adorable self, Tifflebot?
I don't know if anyone's ever said I was adorable. I think maybe annoying is the word they use. Oh, I guess maybe, but just not that word. But Comic-Con is exciting because I rarely pay that close of attention to it until it's over.
Yeah, and there's some stuff, but I guess for me it's exciting because it's been a couple years since they actually had a live crowd and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I haven't paid attention to it since they went virtual and all this other shit. So, it snuck up on me. It's back. And we're going to talk about it, man. We got some things in the news. And so we recorded a little later, not because we were geniuses, only because that's the way the world worked out for us, right?
We were waiting for all the hard-hitting news to finally fall. Don't tell the people what we're doing back here.
We really effed up, so it all.
We're just a couple of fuck-ups is the real answer.
So, man, let me see. We got an official teaser trailer of Wakanda Forever, man. So we're going to talk about that. Very important stuff, man, Shazam is back about 4-5 years later. So we got a trailer.
Yeah, how long ago was that? Seems like a really long time ago.
Long time, Tifflebot. Long time.
You keep talking because I'm going to look it up because I feel like it's been 10 years.
Hey.
But it hasn't been that long.
It's been a long time since the Black Panther, too. Shit.
Shazam 1, I have to put in here because there's many.
Yeah. Everything Shazam will come up if, all the...
Oh, Lord. You know what? Fuck it. It didn't help.
It didn't help.
At all.
So...
No.
We also want to talk about the Marvel Slate. You remember the old Marvel Slate, Tifflebot, where they would show you all the good stuff from Phase 1 and stuff, and everybody lost their mind.
Yeah.
Threw their drawers and panties on the stage, ah! Thor! Ah! That doesn't happen anymore, but they got a new slate, and so we're going to talk about that, because I actually got something to say about this.
Oh.
And, in the spirit of Comic-Con, Tiff, we're going to do the top 5 Comic-Con moments, man, announcements, whatever, that's memorable. Full disclosure, I kept to more recent stuff. I didn't go all the way back in the day to 70s because I started talking that old man stuff, and I think we lose half of the...
I don't think so, but I appreciate it, so I'll know what you're talking about. Full disclosure, I Googled everything because I had no personal attachment to any Comic-Con moments.
Man, she sits on a nerd podcast.
No, and the thing about it is that I like this stuff, but the preliminary, I don't going to and seeing okay. So for instance,
yes,
one of the most famous Comic-Con moments was the Loki, him coming out in a costume.
Wait a minute. Will you say this for the second?
No, I'm not saving it because it's not on my list. If it's on your list, tough shit. You can say, remember that there.
You ruined all the moments, man.
I did not ruin it. It already happened. You're just going to be like, yeah, I like that one. But what I'm saying is that is cool and the idea of it to me, but it doesn't really do anything for me. I wouldn't seek that out to watch it. Does that make sense? So.
And for the other 90% of us, I do seek it out to watch it. So.
Lord have mercy.
There we go.
Okay.
So we
moving over to the Umbrella Academy, right?
Umbrella Academy, indeed. You corrected me earlier. It was 10 episodes. It only seemed like 8 to me.
I got so mad about that 10 fucking episodes. I will tell you why. Before, you were like, hey, let's do the Umbrella Academy. I like the Umbrella Academy. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. That was last Saturday. And I was like, I'd already watched one or two.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I will be... And you were like, I think there's 8 episodes. And I was like, I've watched 1, 2, or 3 episodes. So if there's only 8, I got this in the bag.
Yeah.
Well, there are 10 and I had watched 2. And I really had to get in there.
Goddamn.
It's 8 hours of television that I had to figure out how to get into my week.
I watched 6 of them last Sunday. I was just sitting there, me and my daughter just...
I got stuff to do.
Play the next one. So... It was not a burden for me, Tifflebot. So
I didn't say it was a burden.
We're going to talk about that today.
Lord have mercy.
With all this awesome dopiness, that's dope.
Yes.
Are you ready to roll?
I guess.
Damn. Let's go. right, man. Social media time. Tiffelbot, where can the people reach us in this universe?
In this universe, you can reach us at fansonpatrol.com, where you can email us at fans@fansonpatrol.com, or get to us on our social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fans of Patrol. You can also check out our TikTok. I was going to say Twitter. TikTok, which is Fans of Patrol 0, just the number 0. My brain is bad. YouTube, Patreon, listen to us on your favorite listening platform. Give me a break. I'm old.
Fansonpatrol.com. So
yeah, you know what? You'll find it if you Google it, probably as well.
Hey! Goddamn TikTok! Stuff just comes on.
It sure does. Yeah, that's one of the great things about it.
Hate it. Anyway,
I don't even have it on my phone. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I don't.
But if you're listening to this right now, you should go on to TikTok.
Onto our TikTok. No, it was somebody else's TikTok. I'm like, hey, come on, dude. I might be in a boardroom or something. All of a sudden, come on, man. Anyway, so this is it, Tiff. Comic-Con it's still happening. You know, it's only was Sunday today, so it's still happening. So the little minor announcements come out. So you know, it's been a while. COVID ruined everything, like, you know, and nerds couldn't get together and, you know, spread their germs, the regular germs, you know. Now you got to be careful with the big germs. I'd like to know how many attendees was involved this week. I mean, this month, you know, since thing has changed, you know. Because
I wonder if they had to be like vaxxed and negative COVID test.
In California, maybe, you know. So the big daddy for me, Tiffelbot. Mm-hmm. I wasn't. You know, I haven't been following Comic-Con, so it's not like I was like I had anticipation for anything. I've been like just ignoring all this shit. And you know, the Wakanda Forever came out, and started off very somber, Tiff. You know, just showing. You know, first of all, they did something that we both hate.
Play that slow ass song.
They took one of the greatest reggae songs of all time. No Woman,
No Cry. I was like,
which is very upbeat.
At first,
boom, boom.
Yeah, and at first, because you're supposed to feel like you shouldn't be crying. I mean, not that I haven't cried during No Woman, No Cry before, because I have. No, but you're right.
Woman, no.
Yeah, at first I was like, what's happening? And I was like, oh, it's No Woman, No Cry.
Okay, so they did what Kevin Feige said they were going to do. They were going to honor Chadwick Boseman by killing off his character and not letting anybody else play it. Bullshit mistake, and I hate Marvel for doing this, man. I do. He is an actor. That's it, man. That character is the only dope black superhero that us brothers have. And you took it from us because he died. I'm sorry, he died, man. He's gone. Rest in peace. But the character is the character.
Yeah.
He can live, man. Jeez Louise. Let him get exploded and come back with a facelift and a new voice change. I don't know. Just ignore it. Anyway.
So like, there's so much more to tell about Wakanda and T'Challa. It's just weird because if Chadwick Boseman had lived his full life, do you know what I mean? Like, died of old age, and they were still making Black Panther movies, they would have recast him.
Of course they would have. Of course they would have.
It's not like dishonoring him.
No, it's not dishonoring him. And so obviously they're doing a Shuri story when she becomes the Black Panther, and it's a good story. At least in the comic book it was, and they have elements from it. Now, the most exciting news in the world is that we got Prince Namor, who's somebody.
I saw that, and I just thought about you. I was like, this Namor loving bastard gonna be all talking about it.
Namor loving bastard.
I was like, I see we're going underwater, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, man. So for those of you, the story in the comic book, I don't know if I told this story before, but it was dope the year that she was a Black Panther. He was married to Storm from the X-Men, and Dr. Doom showed up on the scene. They were negotiating some shit. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Doom, he did some terrorist shit and did a bomb on T'Challa, blew him up. And so he was burnt up in a coma for a year. And Prince Namor had something to do with it because they were gonna war or something like that, you know, Wakanda and the Atlantis, because that's, you know, Atlantis. Mm-hmm. And it was just a dope story, and she became Black Panther, and it was cool. But at the end of the day, brother woke up from the coma, and it was on. So they showed all the ladies looking very sad. The mother, Angela Bassett's role, seemed to increase big time. Being Queenie. But man, Tiff, when they showed them tight draws, and that and that Triton, I was like, oh. And then like you saw the rest of the
tight drawers.
You saw the rest of the Atlanteans. That they were blue. They don't have superpowers.
Yeah, they look like Avatar people.
That's how they are in the comic book.
Yes, they are blue.
Yeah, and so he's half human. So that's why, and for some reason, that's why he has powers. Later on, they explained that it turned out that he was a mutant. Some shit they wrote recently.
Oh,
and that's
of
why
course
he could do the thing he can do. Now, so this looked dope as.
Yeah, this looks really good. Here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me what's happening in this movie, no clue. No clue. Like, my loose assumption, obviously, is that they're at war with Atlantis.
Yeah, it looks like it's a problem, right?
But then there's maybe going to be some turnaround because of humans who mostly suck, right?
Always the bad guys.
But always the bad guys, humans.
Yeah.
Just generally the pieces of great pieces of shit. Yep. Right. So, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love everything that they do. It's so big. It's so grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so colorful and beautiful to look at that you're like, I don't really care what's going to happen. I mean, I do. Yeah. I want it to be good and I want to have a good time, but like, I'll probably just go to look at it at this point.
I hope that the young actress who's playing Shuri can, I hope it's a lot of responsibility riding on her. Hopefully she can, carry the weight of this film. But I have to tell you, Tiff, I want T'Challa back, man. God damn it. Don't do this, man. Bring him back. Let him be in a coma. Have him come back just different. You are so different. And, it's a totally different actor. He's like, yes, I know,
Right. Here's the thing. I don't get why people have to have an explanation for everything. It's a fucking movie about a place that doesn't exist, about, superheroes. Okay. There's gods and shit coming into this shit. And you're like, that's a different guy. You're like, I think... Right. If that's what's causing our suspension of disbelief to have a problem, I think that we are just generally not having enough imagination.
Yeah, come on, y'all. Please recast. I know he already said he wouldn't be. Maybe I should lead the charge. We want T'Challa. We want T'Challa.
I think there's a big movement online about recasting him.
Oh, it should be, man. I want to lead that charge. I'm sorry, dude. The character is too important. But speaking of characters, let's go to a super duper character. Let's go to Zachary Levi doing one of our favorite movies, Shazam superhero franchises, and I got to say, Tiff, all the whimsical goodness of the first movie was in this trailer. I dug everything I saw. I liked how they toned down the buffiness of Zachary Levi, because he had got buff for the role the first time.
Oh yeah, he was buff, but they still put a suit on him.
And they put pads on him, but it was like y'all put.
Yeah, he looked weird.
He did look weird, so he looked natural in the suit this time. Everybody's a superhero. I like that he's at a child psychologist.
He's not just a pediatrician. It's not even a psychologist. Right. It's just like a child doctor.
So I was worried what Billy was going to look like in his regular, he still does look like he's about 21.
Well, I think in the first movie, he looked like 15, probably a little too old to be as kind of bright-eyed and weary of everything, especially if you're a child who's experienced trauma.
Hey, Tiff.
But like,
why don't they ever cast just a little bit younger when they're doing these movies?
Because they know, listen, give yourself a little leash. Yes. Give yourself a cushion.
Get you some Stranger Things kids actors like
get you like a 12-year-old.
Yes, y'all went to a.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's plenty of talented child actors who could handle, because it's not like the role of Billy is not that challenging. It's a comedic, calm role, and then by the time that they are 15, 16, then they can be 15 or 16. Because I'm okay with older casting. I know it's hard on kids and weird stuff happens that I don't, but I think this kid, I think he looked young the first time. He looked age appropriate. Now you're right, he does look like he's 20, which
is his last year in college or some shit like that.
He's just He's like, sorry, I was late to the playground. I had to shave my beard.
I know, 100%, right? So, you know, they got some villains. I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, I don't know any. I don't really know enough about Shazam.
I don't know who these people are. And I was hoping you was gonna get a little Black Adam in there somewhere.
But maybe there will be. Maybe they're keeping it. Okay, that's what I was gonna say about this trailer. Is I don't hate this trailer.
Yeah.
But I think I remember that, like, watching the trailer for the first one and not being that enamored of it.
Yeah.
And then loving the movie. I think that was like a big deal.
Yeah.
This trailer makes me a little concerned that the first one was not a happy accident. Obviously, it had intention. But that, like, the second one, they were like, oh, these are the things people really liked about this. Now we're going to ruin it by being too self-aware about it. That was my concern. However, that being said, I do feel like I enjoyed the movie so much more than I enjoyed the trailer the first time, that hopefully it's the same situation is happening now.
Yeah.
But so maybe they're doing a really good job of, if there is a Black Adam thing happening in the movie, it is a secret.
Yeah. Well, first of all, the difference is right from the back is that the boy didn't try to be a superhero up until the last 5 minutes of the movie. So the difference that I do like is that he's trying to be a hero. He looks pretty bad at it, like everybody's just beating his ass, and so that's kind of funny to just see him getting his ass beat the whole movie. That would be funny to me, you know. He's flying on the cars, his chest is on fire, you know. So I don't really mind that, man. I like to see where they're gonna go with it and stuff, and you know, the family aspect, you know, of the first movie was a big staple, and it seems to be bigger in this one, you know, and they brought back everybody. So I'm looking forward to this.
I'm also really wary of all of these adult actors pretending to be children, pretending to be adults.
Like the Megan Good scenes when she was just like so whimsical, like yeah.
Yeah, a little bit concerned.
And you kind of you're making me feel like, because you're so hot, and I'm sitting there like, ooh, that's supposed to be.
and then they're like, I flew around, and you're like, ew.
Yeah, they recast Mary, and nobody cares. See,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Oh shit! So, looking forward to it. See, these are the two biggest things that, from my takeaways and things I've seen, that's been like, you know, yeah, I want to see this. You know. So let's talk about that Marvel slate real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay, so back in the day, Tiff, you know, the Marvel slate came out and Kevin Feige standing out there with that silly hat on, and you know, everybody lost their mind over everything they saw, you know, and it was a cool time. So Marvel was going through these slates, and I have to say something first of all about this, you know, the current slate is, I don't know how much thought actually has gone into this slate that we're in now, you know, with this multi-universe thing, because it, you know, there's been some cool movies. Doctor Strange, this last movie, that just came out? Thor.
The Multiverse of Madness? Oh, Thor.
But, you know,
yes.
Spider-Man. Good movies, but they seem, as far as them having a focal direction, it seems like the direction has been aimless. It's just like, you know, there's no identified huge big bad. There's no culmination. You know, you see the after credit scenes, which we hate, but once you watch them, they're meaningless. You know, it's not like it's pointing to anything else. The biggest thing I've seen recently, I finished watching Ms. Marvel. It might be something we might want to take on. And spoilers, goddamn it, just give me 15 seconds. One of the characters mentioned, you know, the reason why this worked out for you is because there's a mutation, and when they did it, a little guitar riff said, and I was like, oh shit, here they go with the mutants. And then when I saw this Marvel slate today, no mutants. And I was like, wow, I would think they would have been like, let's bring these goddamn muties in heavy, and not a single one. You know?
Well, didn't you tell me there's going to be an X-Men animated?
Yeah, but that's an X-Men animated thing. I'm talking about live action, you know.
Okay, I'm into it.
Well, they played that guitar riff. And
right.
So I'm looking, you know, then we had Professor X in the other movie. And so I'm kind of disappointed that they at least don't have a few, you know, Wolverine, maybe an X.
But is that because they don't own it?
They own it. They do. They bought Fox, remember?
Oh.
That's why they were able to do what they did. Yeah.
Well, I thought they just paid, but I guess I'm stupid.
Yes, they should.
Good for that. Good for them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just taking some time. I don't know. It's probably gonna. Here's the thing. Part of this is that what makes the new Comic-Con so strange is because this is like a continuation of what we've already known, right? Even if we're excited about it, it's not surprising. Whereas the phase 1 of this stuff, the Avengers Assemble stuff was like was like the first time it was exciting. It had that high energy because you weren't expecting it. It was something, and so now I feel like they would have to do something so outlandish again, something that would genuinely surprise me to get me to that kind of fever pitch level where you're like, not just like, okay, cool. Like, so how is this different than what I've already, like, why would I not just go back and watch the stuff that I already know I liked and was good? I'm not saying that hasn't been enjoyable. I'm just saying that you're right. It's missing some kind of, like when someone's still good at their job, but they're not like, there's no more room for surprising innovation because they've kind of like done it all already. They're good at it.
Yeah. I'll say this again. Big mistake killing off Iron Man and Captain America. The hell with y'all. It's just a big mistake. You shouldn't have did it. So they're talking about Secret Invasion. That's the Skrull things. That's cool.
I like that.
Guardians of the Galaxy with no Gamora.
I'm apprehensive about that.
Yeah, I am too. Echo, which they had no explanation of.
What the fuck is that?
They didn't even tell you.
What is that?
They didn't even tell you what
Hawkeye antagonist Maya Lopez into her own series.
Yeah. What the hell?
Who?
I know. Loki season 2 is cool. Blade, we've been looking forward to.
That's just been. I feel like that's been taking forever.
Yeah, they announced
the Blade forever.
They announced that when they did live Comic Cons.
He's old. It's old. Yeah, Ironheart. I will want to watch that.
I think there's a TV show though.
It is, which is I find disappointing, but that's okay.
Athica, Coven of Chaos, I could do without. I don't care about that character.
Oh, is that more Wanda stuff? I'm done with Wanda. Is that Wanda? I'm done.
That's the next door neighbor, right?
Here, you know what? Even more done. Yeah. I like Scarlet Witch, but that's the Scarlet Witch peripheral information to me is just I don't care.
The big daddy for me that I'm loving is Daredevil Born Again. Yes, Charlie Cox.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He never left, really. That must be very strange, I feel, that experience, to be like, got it, lost it, got it again, and it's probably better. Yeah, I don't know.
Probably better, right? Exactly. Now I'm a movie star, goddammit, right? Captain America be back, and that's, Sam.
Sam's. Yeah.
Thunderbolts will probably be cool, but I'm not sure if that's a movie or television show. And then they talk about Phase 6 and all the way at the end, right?
This is exhausting.
All the way at the end, 2 Avengers movies, Avengers The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, which are those going to be 3 movies within themselves or just 2 movies? Because Secret Wars was a big deal and so was, this Kang Dynasty thing. That could be pretty big. But that's all the way at the end, Tev.
I mean, I got to be honest with you, this amount of content being told to me at once and being asked of me to be exciting makes me want to bury myself in the desert for 1,000 years. They're like, look at this. What about this? How about this? You're excited about this? I'm just like, Jesus, fuck. I need a minute.
Oh, shit. You're killing me over here. Oh, man. Right, it
feels so desperate. It feels kind of gross. Feels like imagine Marvel is like a guy that you met, like you're giving him a Tinder date, right?
Yeah.
And he's got like a rose, and you're like, oh, okay. And then somehow he's got like another one, and you're like, what the fuck? And he's like a third one, and you're like, this is weird. I need you to stop.
They also previewed. Not preview, but they showed a logo for the Fantastic Four, so that's cool.
Yeah.
However, you could have threw some mutants in here somewhere, man.
You're so mad about the mutants.
Because, you know what? Without Captain America, you got Falcon as a Captain America, but without Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, this is a whole different thing. But
the Avengers change all the time.
They do, and they're never as interesting as the big 3. That's why they always bring them back.
I get that for sure.
Yeah.
But what I think that they might be trying to do, without acknowledging it, is to get you all, the audience or whatever, to care as much
Yeah,
because that's kind of like why they introduced like Doctor Strange earlier. It's kind of like a thread they're trying to pull.
Yeah.
That's fine. I get all that, but one, just be transparent about it. Be like, listen, this is going to be the next Avengers eventually.
I think
This group of people.
they're saying that, but here's the problem. History has already showed you this never going to be as popular as the big three.
No.
Now, I will tell you what is just as popular as the big three. Goddamn X-Men. Sorry, they've always been. It's always been two type of Marvel fans. You know, people more mutant heavy, people more hero heavy, and those audiences are pretty big. And then you got a bunch of people that's right in the middle like me. And so to me, it would have been a great jumping off point to be like not to leave the heroes, but to bring in those mutants too, and just bring that all together.
You probably should. You're right. You probably should have. They should have pivoted, right? Because
yes,
so that they keep the Avengers going, right? Get us involved and ingrained with your new Avengers, exactly. While we're already dealing with X-Men that we know and are comfortable with.
That's all.
And then the X-Men can break away, and you can have two different universes or whatever.
No, keep them in the same universe because they're the same.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? Set of movies.
Yeah. So I think it's a missed opportunity, and y'all planning out this far. When are we getting mutants? When I'm 90?
Yeah, some of us might not see those mutants.
Right, shit. So anyway, that's my complaint, Tiffle. But I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it right.
Getting there, getting stirred up.
Yeah. I just damn it, especially with y'all giving me some and I'm like, whoo. Hey, something I didn't see in this slate. Also, I didn't see Marvels. The Miss Marvel and that's supposed to be coming. Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, that's again. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, not excited about the Marvel slate. So we'll just have to see. Maybe I'll get excited. I'll tell you one thing. I saw a new She-Hulk trailer with a whole bunch of Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, and the shit was like really comical to me. It was really.
Oh
funny.
Lord.
Oh, it was so good. I liked it. Just
That's
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll give it a try.
Let's take a break and we'll come right back because it's time to throw down some thunder with the list, man. It's countdown time. We'll be right back.
All right.
Countdown time, man. I'm gonna have
to all right.
Put something on the screen here, like a big boom, boom, 5. Countdown, man. So we're gonna do a countdown, man. If this is your first time listening to the show, man, we thank you for listening to us. We love you for listening to us. This is our time to do what we want to do, man. So we normally follow regimented shit on the other two stuff. We got all kind of stuff, games, countdowns, all kind of shit. So this time, man, Comic-Con announcements and moments, man. Top 5 from each one of us, because there's been years and years and years of this stuff, and like I said at the beginning of the show, this time there were some bigger announcements I think I could have put on this list, but they were like from the 70s and stuff like that. So
yeah, Montego loves old stuff. So this list is kind of a lie.
God damn it! No,
just kidding.
So this is like newer shit. But which was also huge stuff. And now that I look back at these announcements and things like that, I have a fondness for them, and I'm surprised they're still doing Comic-Con in San Diego, Tiff, because, E3 is dead. It's gone. There's no real reason for them to, because of the way media is now these days, just like, they don't have to do this anymore, to get people excited. But
right.
Maybe there's some kind of metrics that show that this shit works, that, they hype them up here and then, people be looking forward to it, since it still has a gargantuan following, And I don't know if the movie place, if they would pull out of Comic-Con, will they actually, they hurt it a little bit, but I don't think they would kill it. I don't know. What do you think?
I think, I think there's a lot of other things at play here that we don't quite, like partnerships and ways that they make money that we don't quite understand. Like we probably do, but we're not really thinking about that. Because we think about it as like a way to get people interested or hyped about the thing.
Right.
You think that, but there's other things happening too.
Okay, other things. So
other ways to make money.
All right, so let's get into it, man. So your number 5 being the least, 1 being the best.
Okay.
Tell us about a Comic-Con moment.
So I Googled these because, as I said, I can't really
Yes.
pull out my own, because I don't normally watch panel shows. I don't watch announcements. I think like there's a difference also between going to a convention and watching it when you're not there.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not very interested in a thing that happened about a thing that I might want that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Unless I was actually there, probably. Just not for me.
Top five Comic-Con moments.
Fucking whatever. I was just like, fuck you, piece of shit. Now I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do this to begin with. Oh, you piece of shit. Anyway, my number 5 is the Godzilla announcement reboot for 2012, because I like that Godzilla movie.
What the hell was this announcement about?
It was just that they were like, hey, it was surprised. People were not expecting the Godzilla announcement. And then they got a trailer, which was also a surprise, which I like that. I like being like, yeah, we're going to do it, but it's not going to be like an ethereal almost thing. We already got the trailer.
All right. So, I do not remember this announcement. That's amazing. Okay.
It's done, yeah.
Okay. So, man, where am I going to start here? I'm going to go in 2008.
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. was a struggling crackhead.
Oh my God, I don't think he was in 2008.
Jon Favreau was a nobody. And they did the Iron Man trailer premiere at Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. And if you had balls, they were blown off. They were gone. People lost their mind. They showed Robert Downey Jr., you know, they showed some of the scenes with the silver robot in the cave, you know, very intriguing. And they showed Robert Downey Jr. being Tony Stark, you know, and then they showed the Mach 2 flying and hitting the afterburners. And you didn't see flying on the screen like that looked that good since Superman 1. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, I remember I'm not even there. And when I saw it, I'm like, jaw on the ground, you know, and the people there just lost their goddamn mind. And
yeah,
I don't even know if they had a Marvel slate at that point, you know, because this movie was...
No, that was like the first one, right?
That was number 1, and it was like, whoa. I mean, of course they had Sam Jackson come in talking about, hey, you entered a bad new world. You just didn't know it. You know, so there was more to come. But that was a big moment, man. You know, that changed cinema, you know, believe it or not, you know, and it's in a lot of people.
I believe it.
Yeah. Believe it or not. So that's my number 5, Tiffany.
That's good number 5. I can excited to hear what your number 1 is, because mine are all obviously just little piece of shit moments. Okay. So my number 4 is Quentin Tarantino missing the Kill Bill panel because he was stuck in traffic when like a meat truck overturned on the I-5 or whatever. I find this to be very funny because...
I never knew that.
Yep. I love it. I love that people were like mad that he wasn't there. And then it was a oopsie boopsie accident. And the person was just there had to be like, yeah, Kill Bill. Right. There was like one person there.
Yeah.
Not one audience member, like one person answering the questions about
Wow, man. I never heard of that. That's interesting. Wow. Okay. That counts. Wow. My next one, my number 4 is a movie that actually did really well, but it's pretty hated.
Okay.
That was the announcement of Batman v Superman. Everybody
that was a big deal. I remember that being a big deal.
People lost their goddamn mind, man. You know, they had the one actor who played Deadbolt in the Matrix, black guy. He played the general in the movie, and he read the Dark Knight Returns, you know, I have my hand on your neck. Remember, I'm the guy who beat you. You know, the lines from Batman from the comic book, and everybody lost their mind. And the only thing I think they had to show was that fat bat with the Superman logo on the front of it. You know what I'm saying? But it was a big deal, man. You know, and you know they announced. You know, I don't know if they announced Ben Affleck, but I know Henry Cavill was announcing.
He was already Superman at that point.
That was a big damn deal, man. I mean, and we lost our mind for like 2 years waiting for this movie to come out. And then it was
yeah, sad trombone shit. You're right. Just like, no. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's bad.
It's bad. You know, it was so bad that you wanted it to be good. You know, it was like, damn, man, I've been waiting for this. I'm so excited about this. And then it was just like, damn. It had its moments. They had some fantastic moments within that movie.
Yeah.
But the movie as a whole was just like, God damn.
It missed it. Yeah, they missed
Yeah,
the beat.
sure did. So what do you got next, man? Number 4.
I just like this petty shit. So my number 3 moment is, so when they were going to have a Twilight New Moon panel, it was scheduled to go after the Avatar panel. They were back to back in Hall H.
Yeah.
So as Avatar, then Twilight. Well, all the people who wanted to see this Avatar stuff got pissed because they were like, these Twilight shitheads are going to show up 3 hours early and sit through everything, right? All the panels until the Twilight panel.
Yeah.
And there was such a bitchy stink fest happening that the Comic-Con was like, fucking fine. Twilight first.
Right.
Then Avatar.
Wow. I did not know that, but that is awesome. That brings back some memories. They spent a lot of money on promotions for that movie. And I'm going to tell you how I know. Because I went to go see something cool at the theater, my local theater. Mm-hmm. And when I walked out of my movie, the youngest werewolf dude, the 2 youngest ones, they were right outside my movie theater with like the press and lights and shit. And I walked right in the middle of they press in Cleveland. I walked out of the theater like, what the hell is going on? I'm right there, like, I remember right next to those dudes. They smiled and saying hi to me. Y'all shouldn't have why are y'all doing the interviews in front of this door?
Why by the door?
Right. So
I want to leave.
Right. And then somebody told me, they was like, oh, some girl, they're from Twilight. I was like, oh, damn, why they here? They here in Cleveland.
Why are they blocking the exit?
Oh, man, it was funny, man. So they spent a lot of money, man, because, just flying them dudes to this random theater, in Cleveland. Oh, it was like a Thursday night or something like that.
Well, you see, it's really crazy that you say, like, because you're like, well, why even do a Comic-Con? How does it make... Well, you think about stuff like that because, like, they didn't need to do that for Twilight. They were already guaranteed to make their money. This was the second Twilight movie.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why they do the Comic-Con. They want more.
They were sending these guys around before the werewolves people even knew. So I mean, I guess the people who read
getting them hyped up for it.
They knew,
right?
So they were like, "That's the guy that plays so and so."
Because when you have a movie that is based on, that's a teen girl head bob. I think is you're saying, "Oh my god, he's so cute." Right. When a movie comes out that's a book, usually I think what happens is like the weird phenomenon where you get the people who are coming to see it because they already know it and like it, and they're going to see it, and they're going to see all of them probably. And then the people who just see it because it's a movie, okay, and that's whatever. Right. And then the people who see it because it's a movie that they might be interested in and they've never read the books, but they become obsessed, and then they read all the books. Right. And then there's a whole new, it's like a cyclical.
Yeah. So random dudes in the hallway outside of my movie.
Yeah, there you go.
I saw something cool that night too. I remember.
And it was ruined by Twilight.
So my next one, you got to throw some Star Wars in there somewhere.
Yep.
But a pretty big moment, man. When The Force Awakens was announced, and they brought J.J. Abrams was at the panel, and they had this like robot thing come walking out, this character. So he was showing off characters, but then he invited everybody in that panel to go to like the special Star Wars concert with John Williams and stuff.
Okay, I remember this. That was a big deal.
It was pretty cool, man, because they marched them all up and they gave every nerd their own
took them all out.
They walked in and gave them all.
Yeah, and they all were like, they walked in. Yeah, okay. That if you were there and you were into that, that would have blown your fucking mind.
No, you're goddamn right. You were like, I'm here.
I made it.
I'm doing this shit again. What is that? Oh shit! So I thought that was a cool moment, and for The Force Awakens, which was my favorite of the sequel movies, just couldn't stick the landing.
Can't all be good. No. Can't all be good. Even if they were all the best, one of them would be the one you liked the least. So, Anyway,
you wouldn't hate the other ones though. There's a difference between.
I don't even like it. So I have a feeling I might step on one of your favorite Comic-Con moments. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
So my number 2 is, and it's not because of what you think. It's when the Avengers assembled.
Okay.
Okay, so like they had all the actors come on that were playing those parts, but they did not answer questions, which is one of my favorite details about this Comic-Con moment. But my other one is that when I was looking at these, the list said there was somebody who written a list, and it says this: 2011 stands. What?
Hold up, it just I don't know what the hell.
Did I get crackly?
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. You're good now.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Saturday in Hall H during Comic-Con 2011 stands in memory for so many things. There was a stabbing.
What?
And then they go on to talk about Avengers Assemble.
Yeah. God damn.
Then there came a teaser trailer, which the voice of Samuel L. Jackson, blah, 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 Marvel's The Avengers. I was like, how about we just don't mention the stabbing? Or, I mean, because yeah, it says somebody was stabbed, and then they just kind of gloss over it, and they're like, and then Avengers Assembled.
somebody sat on one of the dumbass swords that they bought at a table or something. Nobody got.
Okay, while you tell me about your number 2, right. I'm gonna Google 2011 Comic-Con stabbing.
Yeah, my number 2 is Tom Hiddleston coming out in his full Loki uniform, as mentioned earlier, ruined by Tipple.
I didn't.
But it was a pretty slick moment. You know, the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just tried the same thing, but he didn't like. You know, I think Loki was out there monologuing Tom Hiddleston was like monologuing for a half an hour, you know, clowning on people and shit, and it was great. It's been tried again, you know, different stars. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just stood out there with some lightning bolts this weekend, just like on a screen, trying to look hardcore, and I thought it was a bust. But for Loki to come out and threaten all the people of Earth, ways and shit, was just like, you're a class act, bro. You know, you gave the fans what they wanted. You never broke character, and it was just a dope thing, you know. So I like that. That's my number 2. So I get ahead of you. How did you get so far ahead of me? You just
I'm at number 1 now.
Oh, this is your number 1. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna tell you. So this is some content warning for somebody who might not want to hear about violence. Man stabbed with pen at Comic-Con. Comic-Con eye stabbing leaves 1 injured and 1 jailed.
He stabbed him in the eye with
a pen.
He's watching too much John Wick.
Woo!
He killed him with the pencil. God.
No, he survived. He survived.
You got stabbed in the
eye. I see what you're saying. You're doing a John. Yeah, that's what it says. He's fine. Content he stabbed another near the eye.
Oh, it wasn't.
So I suppose at the time they probably didn't know it wasn't in the eye, right? Because they just, a person was stabbed in the head region. Anyway,
only a nerd was.
I didn't read what it said. I'm assuming there was probably a seat squabbling issue.
Yeah.
People are bananas. Anyway, my number 1.
Number 1.
Back to some lighter fare. My number 1 is Andrew Garfield as surprise Spider-Man.
Yeah, I remember that.
When he comes dressed up as a little shitty Spider-Man, and it's him, and then it was just sweet. And I felt like that was very, like, even if it had been orchestrated by media, there was a lot of heartfelt sincerity in the things that he was saying and doing. It made him seem a lot like the real Spider-Man.
But you know what? It didn't work, Tiff, because even when he revealed himself,
it
was like, who is this bastard? You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It was like, oh, and then it was like, nobody cared. You know?
It's still cute. Now we look back on it, it's adorable.
Yeah. Andrew Garfield. You know, I hope he's a good dude in real life because he seems like it. But
he just kind of seems like he kind of seems like a dude who just like, oh, I guess I'm an actor now. Yeah. And you're like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. I man, yeah. So my number 1 was the Avengers announcement. But I don't remember. I remember one actor came out. Sam Jackson announced, I think, a few people. And then when Robert Downey Jr. came out, he announced like the rest of the people. And they did just stand around there on stage and stuff and just stand there.
No questions.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a no question thing. But yeah, they just stood out there and just looked like, and nobody knew who these effers were at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, oh, I know him, but I don't know him, and I know him, but I kind of know him. You know, they weren't superstar actors at that point. So, you know, even though they had movies and stuff, I remember Chris Hemsworth was standing up there just looking out of sorts and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it still was a big goddamn deal because you kept hearing that this was a possibility they were going to combine these movies, especially with the stingers and all that stuff. And then so it was happening. So we got the confirmation that they were all connected. So that's the list, Tifflebot. I like the
list.
I thought this was pretty dope.
Yeah.
So anyway, man, we're going to take our final break. We're coming back with the damn Umbrella Academy, which has nothing to do with Comic-Con.
Nope.
So we'll be right back. All right, man, it's time for the Umbrella Academy, man. So, what, TV series 2022, TV 14, I'm kind of surprised about that. Action, adventure, comedy. Really quick, Tiff. A family of former child superheroes, now grown apart, must reunite to save the world. I guess a lot of shit been going on. This is season 3. A lot of people in this. Let's rattle off a couple of ones that's just in this season here.
Okay, Elliot Page.
Yep.
Tom Hopper.
Yep.
Which I get confused about for some reason.
Yeah.
David Castaneda.
Mm-hmm.
Emmy Raver Lampman. Robert Sheehan. Aidan Gallagher.
Justin Min.
Gosh, then who's that?
That's Ben.
Oh, yes. He's not. Let's see. Why is he not at the top? Oh, Justin Min. And Colm Feore, that's who plays Sir Reginald Hargreaves.
Yeah, and you cannot forget Ritu Arya is her name. She played Lily.
Oh, I love her.
Crazy ass.
Yes, that's Lila. Yeah.
So let's.
And then there's a whole bunch of other people who played other people, the Sparrows. But you guys, they're starting to get a lot of people in these movies, and I'm not.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. We be saying people forever. So, man. Before we go any further, let's hit one word. One word, Tiff. What you got?
I'm gonna say, like, expected, but not in a bad way. Like, I was worried I wasn't gonna like this season, and I did. So it's just more of what I expected, which I found very comforting and good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say drawn out. It was I like the writing to a point. I like the direction of the show. This is weird coming from me. I enjoyed this. However, I really believe that it could have been 8 shows.
I agree. One or 2 episodes less, and that would have been because
episodes meandered so much in bullshit that I was just like, come on, man. Okay, she mad. We get it. She mad. Or he's
right. We knew already.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that I felt like in the previous Umbrella, there's seasons of Umbrella Academy, you built on your mystery, like, oh, you're like, what's that? How's that happening? Right away, they isolated what the problem was that they dealt with in the last episode. So some of the stuff they did in the interim felt really, and I don't think we should worry about staying on timeline talking about this because there's just too much shit. Yeah. But one of the things I had a problem with, particularly in this season, was the world was ending, just like every episode, every season of the Umbrella Academy, but they have an opportunity to save the world, but they choose not to because they feel like they shouldn't interfere. And I was like, that would normally make sense. Like if there was some kind of other, like if you thought, well, if this world ends, then a new world will be born, if there was something else, right?
Yeah.
But like, because their theory was that they shouldn't hurt anyone else. I'm like, but there is nobody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just try the most important thing, the last option? It didn't make sense. Their objection for doing it didn't make sense when there was literally nothing left.
Okay, so here, listen to those spoilers. So, so much about this show I enjoyed, and so many characters I enjoyed. I really like the Sparrows, man. I mean, they were just as good as the Umbrella Academy. I don't know why we did the Footloose thing in the first one. I was like, it's cool. They did the whole dance from the beginning to the end. That's actually in the original movie, because he had the little spit on him and stuff, and that was a hallucination. Was it necessary to give us a whole goddamn 10 minutes of this?
I liked it.
Yeah, I could have did without it. I was like, who cares? So anyway, I really like the Sparrows. And Klaus, the character, just shines. He's my favorite. I could watch him in his own show all day. And Fives. I love Fives. I love Klaus. But then there was some just characters and their story just got on my nerves so bad because it just meandered and just didn't. It felt unimportant. One, Allison. How mad you gonna be? God damn, you spent 10 episodes mad as hell doing dumb shit, and I got so over it. I was like, damn, come on, Tiff, how long is she gonna be mad? It's all kind of shit going on, and then you getting with the old man, and you sabotaging everything, and then
right.
I didn't know he was gonna kill Luther, and I'm like, then she tried to rape Luther and shit. I'm like,
yeah, the whole thing was really strange. I agree with that. Here's what I get her anger and stuff like that, right? Because that's a fucked up thing that happened. However, when you know that the world is ending and that reality and your reality has never stayed the same,
never.
I feel like you wouldn't be mad. You'd be like, I am going to keep going until I figure out how to fix this.
Yes, especially with a time traveling brother. Who, if he try hard enough, he don't even need a box to go back in time because that's how the stuff started. The other one was what is it? Victor slash Vanya's story. He transitioned in the thing, and I was like, okay, y'all dealt with that. Let's go, keep it moving. Then the character had nothing to do. Just wandered around and just. Well,
I don't understand why he was still sad. I mean, I get because there was the boy and I thought that was really interesting concept for the show.
I agree. I like that.
And they took it out, and he had a piece of Victor in him.
Yeah.
From the 60s.
He saved the boy's life, and but he got powers. So that was.
But he already had powers, right? And then he gave him it mutated the powers.
I didn't remember him having powers. I thought he just almost drowned because of the daddy or some shit.
Okay, so I couldn't remember if it had happened, how it had happened, but yes, he had the powers, and then he killed.
That's it. He was just.
Yes. Oh, that's right. He had the screaming thing, and the music helped, and then now it sounds, which is so I thought that was really interesting and really cool. Because it made sense because he killed their mothers and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, cool. But then Victor, the character, is really mopey about that specific, almost more sad than Allison was for, but there's no catharsis. There was no catharsis for any of this. So all you got was these I'm still sad, which is fine. But I would have rather have seen some determination because of it. Now I want to do this, or motivation for some reason. So that's probably what you're happening is that long middle part until we get to the part where they all do have determination and motivation is so long.
Yes, I agree. The highlights for this for me was watching Klaus stumble around trying to train the father. I loved all that. I loved what's her name? Lily? Is that
Lila?
Those two characters, as effed up as they are, just stumbling into things. I mean, when she brought the boy, and then it wasn't even her son.
I loved that whole thing, and I thought that particular storyline where I was like, they're gonna put a kid in here. This kid's gonna be annoying because
he was annoying,
and he was on purpose.
Yeah, but
I didn't mind him, and then he was gone, and then he was gone.
When he was gone, I was happy.
And it wasn't even. It turns out not to be his kid. One of the things I like about this show is that all of the characters are so in their own stuff, but they all have to try to work together. And it makes them all so Klaus specifically is so fantastic. When he died the first time,
I like this whole story of his new powers.
Yes. If you go back, I think we've seen him die before and we just didn't know it. So he dies and can come back, and if he can control it, he can control where he comes back and how he comes back and blah 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 blah.
Can I ask a question? So at the end of the last season, they did this big reveal that the father was an alien. His head, did that stuff, and then they showed the little fish tank man and stuff, and they kind of just left that shit alone up until the very last second of the show where. Who was it that karate chopped the father's head in half and stuff? Somebody.
That was Allison.
Allison.
She got him with a sickle.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can kind of see the blue blood, but him being an alien meant nothing in the developing.
Well, this was a robot, though.
That was a robot. See, I was like,
Yes.
oh,
Well, and I think that's why we saw the different Hargreaves Industries at the end, and that's his wife who was on the moon.
the real wife, right?
Right.
The actual robot lady, but not robot.
Older, aged because she's lived. And so I think we're all this might, if I were to assume
Yeah.
that if we're going to get another season, it will be the last one.
Well, yeah, because you just never know. This even okay. They had to say the world 3 times, and that sounds very boring. But it's been so interesting, with the going back in time with the second season and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then like at the end of this one, Allison gets her people back. I could give a shit. Who I loved was the damn sparrows. I was so angry to see the
Yeah, I
die
know.
like that, and then when the dude roasted it, I wouldn't mind him roasting the spitting chick. I couldn't stand her.
Yeah, she was annoying
Yeah, I was
somehow.
like, oh god.
But the weird like rubbery guy, I
Oh,
liked him.
he got on my nerves. But I
He was
like
like punch me in the
when
face.
him and was it Domingo? What's his name? Yeah,
Diego, when they fought in that pharmacy, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, Diego finally got the chance to whoop somebody's ass with cans and shit. Him and the son like, hitting them with cans. And
It's just like the road.
they like you can't punch
I will
him,
say
but you can hit him with stuff. And he was hurt.
right.
They figured that
Right.
shit out. And I was like, that dude was so arrogant with his ugly ass, right? And didn't that girl look like Anne Hathaway? I was like, is that a young Anne Hathaway? The spitter. She looked like
Oh,
Anne.
I think she looked like the girl who was in Crawl and who was in the Resident Evil movies. I think she looked a little bit like that girl.
She did look like her too, but that girl looked like Anne Hathaway to me. So
I can see what you're saying, yeah. I love that Luther got married when he had sex
yeah,
for the first time, apparently, which I didn't know that.
man.
He was like,
Allison never gave him no booty, and
that's
what
true.
he wanted.
And he was on the moon for years.
Yeah.
And so when the flash happens and the guy disappears and he runs back and grabs more condoms, I literally laughed. I could not stop laughing about that. He was like,
really,
it's for sex, which is something I do now.
yeah. And then a person disappears right after that, which was a reoccurring thing, which was cool.
Right.
I love the hotel as a character.
I do too.
Yeah.
And when it goes on to the other side, it's great.
Yeah. And the fights with the samurai that's a real boss battle that was interesting, that didn't turn into garbage. So I dug the way it ended. Just some of the stories that I mentioned really got on my nerves, and they just took them too many episodes. He was like, damn, we had another episode where she mad and he sad. I'm tired of this shit. Y'all come on.
You would think that they would just be trying really hard to fix it, and I feel like they didn't take any, and which is, it's fine for characters to be sad and process stuff in shows where we're not having an action movie, right? It just didn't seem logical to me, given all the things that they'd known, all the things that they'd done. You're right, it was just too long. Just cut some of that stuff out. I'm into emotional stuff.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, felt very sad for Five when Dolores visits him in his reel.
Yeah.
I was like, damn it.
Fives is just such a piece of shit. I mean, he's a piece of shit that you just gotta love him, man. I love how he just thinks everybody's just stupid. He just he treats them like they all like got an IQ of like 2. You know what I'm saying? Combined. So a lot of highlights. I would be interested in seeing another season, man, because nothing ends with this, and I like how what they've been doing with these shows is that it never ends. It's like one thing to another. I would have liked to got a lot more of the sparrows. I like how they ran that world like bullies, and that damn Raven chick with her damn spy Raven chasing Luthor around. Classic moments, man. Good shit. So I enjoyed it, but for those 2 characters and that draggy shit they did, you could have did so much more. I'll tell you what character I would like to see come back. I would have loved to see Cha-Cha come back being a badass.
Oh, I do like Cha-Cha.
Yeah, I did too. And she didn't really have an ending on the show. She wasn't dead. She was just like, fuck.
And we got the other guy. We got his ending.
Yeah, you got.
He took the donut lady.
Yeah. Him and the old donut lady.
I love that.
So
I might rewatch. The first season is so good, you kind of forget. I may rewatch that first season.
How integral it was and the different things that was going on.
And I fall in love with Klaus all over again.
And before I end, what I have to say about this, I love that Ben got a chance to be this overwhelming, try hard asshole that nobody liked. I mean, when he wasn't invited to the bachelor party, that shit was hilarious to me. He was so outdone that they was keeping it a secret from one person who couldn't come.
Yeah, he's like, some people aren't invited. I love Luther. The more I think about it, I just think that all of them are so good. All their stupid little personalities are so good. But I really liked it when he's like, well, how come everybody likes your Ben? And he's just like, I don't know, because you're an asshole.
Right. He was a total asshole. So at the end, man, Luther looks like a normal dude. They all have no powers. And so I think that's interesting. And he was a ghost at the end of the damn thing. You know?
Yes, he came back to you guys can see me, and he was really excited he's gonna go find his wife, blah 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 blah. And also the thing about Tom Hopper is he's very tall, lanky man. So even without his ape padding,
he's still a big.
He still looks weird.
Yeah, he's still
really tall.
Yeah. So, still thumbs up. Just goddamn, if I ever watch that again, which I won't, I would be fast forwarding all that stuff I didn't like.
Yeah. I'm excited to see if there is a fourth season, which I hope there will be. I want a conclusion for everybody that's solid, because this one was questioning. Like, they're like, what's going to happen now? I want to know a solid conclusion.
So, Luther must have been, by proxy protecting the original, people, father and mother up on the moon, because they were up on the moon, And so why was he up there all that time? Didn't know. I think
that's what he was doing. He was keeping the moon safe and didn't know it. Yeah,
exactly.
That's why they showed that moon thing, which I was like, I loved it.
When he was
on the moon,
he started out all strong like Rocky doing his exercises. He was laying around naked and shit, looking crazy. Yeah. Pretty good. So. I mean, yeah, it had its moments, but it did have its down moments. So anyway, man, that's it, man. I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. With me is my dynamite co-host, Miss Tifflebot. We did the damn thing, and we got it done, Tiff. Say goodbye to the people.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
Damn right. And until next week, we're doing, what's that, Nope. Yeah, Jordan Peele. We're doing Nope. And look out, I got Smooth coming back on. I think I already said doing Stranger Things. And Tiff, me and you need to do a Patreon too, because
I'm ready.
It's not about me and other people. It's about
I've watched all the Patreon movies.
Okay, yeah.
That we had, so.
Yeah. All right, man. So that's it. That's all. Until next week, we will be
on patrol.